And Mike, I want to present you with this tape recorder on behalf of the membership Transport Workers Union, and we hope that you'll get many, many pleasant hours.
But into this tape recorder I'll put not one, but 1,000 of the stories I've told you here tonight that happened over the last 30 years.
Before this union was formed, the bosses negotiated with the bayonet, the billy club, and the bullet.
I worked as a ticket agent down here on the subways for about 8 years, 12 hours a night, 7 nights a week.
The motormen, the conductors, and guards worked a spread of 16 hours a day to get 10 hours pay.
Tough, lousy, rotten working conditions.
Other nights, they sat on the bench for 7 or 8 hours and returned home with nothing.
And the boss came along and said, "You're all fired," because they were drinking coffee.
We crave dignity. We long to be treated like human beings.
Mike Quill spoke, everybody listened.
In 1935, I wrote to the Interbutter Company of New York. "Greetings. We have news for you. We are building an independent union.
The time has come for us to get up off our knees and fight."
In those days, if they caught you thinking of joining a union, they fire you.
They had their own security carrying guns for anybody talking about organizing a union.
Blood was spilled on the streets of New York City organizing his union.
At times.
Most of my life, I've been called a lunatic because I believe that I am my brother's keeper. This is my religion.
The turning point in January 1937 was the power plant sit-down. 2 workers were suspended for some minor infraction, and the workers spontaneously began to sit down. And Mike knew right away to move in and help these people, and how to get food to them hoisted up into the windows.
United, invincible, because that is the policy of the Transport Workers Union.
Somebody cared about lifting other people up. And pretty soon, the company caved in.
My dad came home one day and he said, "We got a contract, Vi." That cemented everything. I mean, it was way on the ground floor, but it was a start.
Imagine the morning after when workers went to work and they had a TW badge on, and the pride.
He was offered $1 million to leave. This is in the 30s.
He was offered $1 million?
Just to get out of town, leave. And he wouldn't do it.
Mr. Martin, have the communists attempted to seize control of the labor movement?
The communists have sought to seize control of the American labor movement.
Unions was considered subversive, and everybody hated unions.
Mr. Quill, do you know John Sano as a member of the Communist Party?
No, I do not.
Do you know him by reputation as a member of the Communist Party?
No, I do not, except by the word of stool pigeons.
The workers didn't care that Mike Quill was a member of the party, and they called him Red Mike. He's on our side.
Well, I'll tell you, young man, if higher wages and shorter hours is communism, then I'm a communist.
Are you going to comply with some degree of courtesy in connection with this committee, or are you just going to continue in such outbursts?
I am going to defend my organization from slanderous attacks. They look for the weak, the timid ones. Better to die on your feet than live on your knees. It's time Americans stood up and fought back.
Before this union was formed, Negro workers could only get jobs as porters. The Jewish workers had no trouble with the subway bosses. Jews were not employed in the subway lines.
To be frank, the job was white at the time, you know.
Whenever there are ignorant, racist Ku Kluxers trying to destroy our union, it is the business of the TWU.
When the black driver would pull up into the bus stop, the passengers didn't want to ride. They would back up, say, I'm waiting on the next bus. I'm waiting on the next bus. And the next bus could be a white driver, and they would get on the bus.
When America is sick and in danger by the cancer of segregation, it is cause for concern by all organized labor and by each and every member of the TWU.
Mike was already in the 40s training black workers to get higher positions.
A couple of days later, they put all black drivers on the line, and they would say, I'm waiting for the next bus. I'm waiting for the next bus. And when they found out the next bus had a black driver, they hold that bus, hold that bus.
We are 125,000 strong, that regardless of our race, creed, or color, we have but one God, one aim, one destiny, that we shall never be slaves again.